That's not, that's not good.
That stinks as soon as you got ready. You can take that off and just go set the whole thing on the bed for a little bit.
I might need to. I'll give it a minute. Yeah, it's getting worse.
Huh?
It's getting worse.
Yeah, I can hear it.
It's getting. I'm not gonna lie, that didn't quite go as planned. Moved everything in out of the rain. Once this slows down, maybe I'll give it another shot. Just started with nothing so far. Knew I'd get you. Something keeps flying around my head, and I'm like, fine. Let's see how you handle this.
It's just a random little crack I hear every once in a while. It's funny.
I wish we could hear the little mortal scream of it just falling.
What's that fake scream?
Yeah, oh, I know. Yeah. The high hill. Dang it! I should know this. Matrix moves. Matrix, I say. What can I say? Bugs are attracted to beautiful artwork. You're such a dork, Zoe. Such a dork. Well, she's figured out she can get on the picnic table without getting chastised.
Is she up there?
Oh, yeah.
You know what she's doing? I feel like she's smelling her salsa spots.
Yep.
Unless she found a bug.
What she did find was the rocks on the other end of the picnic table.
The rocks?
Yeah, there was 2 little rocks that were on the other side of the picnic table.
Oh, funny.
And she dropped them off the edge.
Of course she did.
You having salsa without me?
Huh?
Are you having salsa without me?
I'm absolutely not.
Then what on earth is that
I
bag?
think you wish I was. What'd you say?
What on earth is that bag then? What are you doing?
It's a Dorito bag.
Yeah, sure. No, it's the other bag, isn't it?
It's something a little savory.
Yeah, that's called salsa. Got a little bit of an idea here. Don't know how well this is going to work. I'm realizing I don't know I'm having a hard time seeing things. So I'm doing my little camera thing to be able to see what image I'm shooting. And it's not working for me. So I'm going to take one of my canvases. Thankfully, these are really affordable. Take a business card, put it dead center in the canvas, and then cut out a square out of the canvas. All I gotta do is hold that up, and I have my idea, because that's a 4x3, no, 2x4 card, 2x3 card, something of that nature. That'll work. It'll give me a rough idea. So I need to find a way to just perfectly mark this on here. I'll probably do it on the back side, that way I don't mess up the front. Take a knife and start slicing. I just cut into this thing like 600 times, and maybe I'll actually get this to work. No, Zoe, out of the way. I know they make these kinds of things where you can do this with like a little gray card that will measure out, but you're gonna spend 15-20 bucks on that. Use a canvas. Ta-da! Looks terrible, but that's fine. Blocks all the surrounding area, except for what you want to get. Makes sense. And you get a business card canvas out of it. I'm a dork, I know. Okay, I got the right idea. I have to, unfortunately, stand back pretty far to see it, but it works. See if it helps if I take a picture of it with my phone. Because my brain is still seeing every detail and not the broad image, which is annoying me. Oh, that's exactly what I'm thinking of. That's cool. I took a picture with my phone, which you guys probably can't see, but shooting through that, I mean, technically I could just frame it up, but that does give a little bit of clarity, per se, to what I'm actually trying to shoot. Technically I could do the rest off of this, but I do like what I'm seeing, because in the picture on my phone, it's intensifying the blue higher up in the sky that I'm not seeing in real life. I mean, I see it, but it's so subtle. But I really like what I'm seeing because it's whiter, and I can see that now that I'm aware. Whiter on the bottom, and as it gets higher, it turns bluer, but not by much, just because of those clouds. I bet you I can get my camera here to kind of give us that same effect right along over there. Possibly. But anyway, that's interesting. I'm learning. Little things. Little things. And of course, we're allowed to do what we want. It's our art piece, so if we want to intensify those things and make them more interesting, then why not? I was kind of hoping to get the quality of the sky, because this is a very unique season for Montana, because we are dealing with very heavy forest fires. Very heavy forest fires. And so trying to show the smoke in the air that just is spanning across all of Montana kind of gets my attention on something I'd like to capture. I think that this is a season that Montana won't forget, unfortunately. And when your local officials, your military is being sent out, your National Guard, everyone's going right now trying to fight these forest fires, not only here but in California and across several other states. I mean, this is, in a way in itself, an iconic, unfortunate moment in time for Montana. And when you question whether or not you should be camping because of the fire seasons, and even in the middle of the night, last night we were woken up by a helicopter riding along that ridge. It looks like they were either doing search and rescue, or, though they didn't have a spotlight, what they could have actually been doing, unless they were using LiDAR and night vision, what they could have actually been doing, more importantly, is scouting for fires along the ridge. It's a scary thought, but it's true. So many artists say that it's easier to go dark and then lighten it. I'm struggling with that one. I'm not sure if I want to do that or not. Working subtly is such a nice thing when you know how, and I have no idea, but it's starting to click in a little bit. So I'm feeling like I'm making subtle changes to the canvas, and that just feels it feels correct. But I think I'm also doing a newbie mistake here, and I'm over softening things. There's no hard edges, there's nothing crisp, and I think that's going to backfire on me unless I build this up with some really harsh tones. So I'm going to try that with a lot of intense white along this horizon here. I'm kind of waiting for the acrylic to dry a little, and then I'll dig it in there, or I'll apply it with a palette knife. Though I gotta admit, I haven't seen many artists using palette knives with acrylic, but I haven't done a lot of research on it. But that still doesn't mean that I can't, or that I shouldn't. I'm trying to teach myself to move my fire pit. Too much blue along this ridge now. I messed up there, so I'll try to intensify that back to a whiter. I was going to try and do oil paints, but it's such a more difficult paint to work with. It's not difficult when you're painting, but to clean it off of your brushes, you'll need, linseed oil and brush cleaners and all kinds of stuff. And with the limited amount of water that we have out here, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, I'm either going to do watercolor for now, just as a practice run and see if I'm even capable of doing this, or do acrylics, because they can be water soiled. They can kind of calm down some of that. So I think I made the right choice. And I'm choosing not to judge myself, because honestly, if I'm judging myself right now, in all the time that we've been painting so far, I've done nothing. That's what it feels like, but at the same time I look and I go, it's the same vista. So I'm just trying not to judge myself on this, and I'm painting what I'm thinking I'm seeing in the background, and then I'll fill it in, and I'll put the shrubberies over front. And I might do those with a palette knife, kind of like I did this. I'll include those textures, but for now, just getting in all that soft backdrop and hoping I'm doing it right. That's that's where I'm at. But I'm not against what I've done so far. I feel like I'm actually kind of doing better than I assumed I would be. Though if I were really being honest with myself, I want to see this come together much quicker than probably what's realistically correct to assume, especially with someone of my level doing this right now. So I can judge myself far too much and lose the joy of what I'm doing, and then quit and go back inside to my camper and focus on something else because I'm just ticked at myself, or I can just enjoy the journey. I'm going to attempt to enjoy the journey. For me, unfortunately, sometimes that's easier said than done, because I just get ticked at myself and then just want to give up and move on to something else that I know I'll be more successful at. I gotta admit, I love how it looks in the camera, which I'm kind of glad I have the camera here for reference until the camera battery dies. And as I said, we have limited electricity and ability to recharge things. We have some, but we don't want to annoy our neighbors too much with generators. I'm also noticing I'm just not doing a good job in filling in the canvas because I'm so watered down with all my paints right now. I'm hurting my efforts because instead of trying to mix the value of the color and apply it with a very thick paint, instead I'm more concerned about I'm thinking more watercolor, which is definitely hurting me. So I'm going to try this a little bit more with more paint and try to actually mix the paint properly and see if we can kind of see. That feels too dark all of a sudden, but I can go back over it. I can go over this 600 times and then some. Go over this 70 times 7. Alright, new memory card in. I made some changes. I switched over to a palette knife style, and I didn't realize this worked out really well. I made this palette knife a while back just as an attempt of trying something different. And it's really beneficial, I've found, because first off, it's helping me mix. Secondly, I prefer to apply to my painting just on the very tip of this palette knife right up here. So I can mix with the whole palette knife, get it just on the tip and get it on there. But then the other benefit is when I get the color that I think I got, that I want, then what I can do is hold it up to whatever out there in the distance, just looking at the tip of the palette knife, and see how close I got. And that seemed to have really helped this painting a little bit. Now I know they look completely different in comparison to what you're seeing over there with no blue sky, and yet a pretty intense blue up here. And no, that is not how it looks in real life. I have over-intensified the blue. I will probably pull it back, maybe. But so far along this mountain line here, with the far back mountain, the closer vista here, those are color balanced to what I see out there for the most part. Other than putting trees and things on them, just getting that first shaping seems to be working pretty well. So I'm going to keep working on this. Acrylic is so nice, you just dip it in the water and there you go. Next thing you know, you don't have to worry about it killing your brush or your painting over your palette knife and having to dig it off with razors. So much better. So much better in this kind of scenario. I'd probably enjoy oil painting in this scenario too if I wasn't such a lazy bum. That is very rewarding, and I have no idea why. I feel like I've gotten nowhere with it, but at the same time, it feels right. Hi, how you doing?
Good. I'm really impressed.
Oh, don't be. I'm only just learning.
Oh, this is so cool.
Thank you.
From here, it looks amazing.
Whoa.
Can we come see?
You may, absolutely.
Get off the mic. How long have you been doing this?
I've been an artist for many years, but I worked at Disney doing cartoon caricatures.
Okay.
But that's what I'm known for when I was doing painting, and so I'm watercolor. So I'm doing acrylic today because it's just easier to keep clean and it's better for the environment.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm just messing with it today.
Wow.
I'm getting there. I'm learning techniques as I'm going.
And what are you using the camera for?
I'm a YouTuber. I'm a full-time
okay.
YouTuber.
Okay.
So I'm recording it and gonna put it up on my YouTube channel.
Very cool.
It's kind of like, okay, newbie, try something stupid and see what comes out of it.
Oh, that's
So.
awesome. Did you grow up in Great Falls, or where did you?
Oh no, I've a military brat. 21
Okay.
years in the Air Force. My
Okay.
dad was, so I was everywhere.
You were in the Air Force too?
No, just my dad.
Okay. Okay.
But I moved up here because of my wife. So,
okay. Okay.
yeah.
Is she from the area?
Yeah, she's
Okay.
from Great Falls.
Wonderful.
Yeah. What about you guys?
Yep, we're from Great Falls as
Yeah.
well. Yep, just up here for the weekend with some friends.
I just needed to escape from the smoke. That's,
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yep.
Just it's wonderful up here.
Yep.
Oh, well, what a setup. So cool.
Well, thank you.
What is that thing?
That's to kill bugs.
Okay, okay. Nice.
They are very attracted to bright colors, so paints
yes.
are going to attract a lot of larger bugs.
Uh-huh.
So, because they think it's flowers. So, just stand there when you hear one coming, you grab it, you turn it on, you just start waving, and when you hear zip, you're like, okay, I'm good.
Now, are you doing this, I see where you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Do you add anything on your own, or do you try to keep it exactly what you see?
I'm going to probably add in this situation, but not a lot. I actually do want to try and get as much of the smoke in this as possible, since this is
Okay.
kind of an iconic time for Montana.
Uh-huh.
So I'll add on top of it as I get the vista finished.
Okay.
Once the vista's done, then I'll start adding all the trees in front and start building up
What's
the
a
foreground.
vista? you said?
Just that whole plane, that
Okay.
whole space in the background. So once I get all that, then I'll start filling it in front of it and build up the trees and
Okay.
start building all the structure around it. Alright, well after a nice enjoyable nap, hanging out with the wife, watching a movie 2 times because our generator turned off and we forgot that we don't have a remote for our DVD player, we're back at this. We'll see where I start though. So far I've managed to make vomit color. Not quite what I'm looking for. On this side over here, I have this elevation change. It kind of goes in there, and there's like a little hill that's right over here tucked into this area, kind of behind where you guys can't see. I'm not really sure how to handle that, and I'm trying to figure out how to build that into an area that's going up the ridge over there, just that, and it's not even a ridge, just a little hill, and then how to put the foliage on top of it. So that's kind of what I'm trying to dink around with right here. And also, I'm noticing I haven't drawn in my path yet, but the path is going to kind of come in here and come straight down. And technically, if I was desperate, the picnic table might come in down there. I'm not even sure if I'm going to do the picnic table because I'm finding I'm not even following any proper rules. When I look through my little grid and I look over here, I'm painting something similar and yet so completely different. So I'm making up my own rules as I go along, and it's hurting me, and at the same time I'm going, okay, how do I make this work? Because I'm being too legalistic, how do I loosen up? So that's where I'm at right now. I still like it. It's acrylic. which makes me go that it's not quite what it could be, but that's just because I'm over-judgmental of myself. Alright, a big part of me feels like I made a rookie mistake. So, the trees in my little card that I created, I could see that the perspective I was looking at, oh gosh, look at those clouds up there, baby. Wow.
It's actually blue sky. It's a little bit
Yeah, I know.
so nice.
I'm like, okay, great. Do I want to change this and try and capture that? I'm starting to think yes. It's like, no, oh,
Those are real clouds.
those are beautiful.
Those are real clouds, though, right?
That's gorgeous.
Those are real clouds, though, right?
Yeah, those are real clouds. Yeah, and they're absolutely beautiful. Golly. Shucks. You guys can't see those, can you? Yeah, you can kind of see a trace of them right there, but anyway, rookie mistake. I think what I might need to do is cut off the bottom of these trees, build foliage off of them to make them look like they're coming from over there, and then bring that into this wraparound here. So, rookie mistake. That I'm going to try and finesse, but I don't know. I don't have my watch or my phone. My thought process is if I was to continue working on this when I got home, because we might not stay tomorrow, we're not sure yet, is that I want to like continue off of a picture of what I have here, but the problem I'm facing right now is I've designed this off of what my eyes are seeing and not the picture that I took on my phone. So I will struggle to recreate what I'm seeing. But before the sun goes down here, I really feel like I gotta capture those clouds. Look at that. See that ridge? Ugh. Beautiful. I don't know if I can get that. I might mess up the painting in the process, but I think I gotta try. And we're gonna start with a whole bunch of white to make that happen. Feels so out of place, and yet it looks so good for some reason. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it. I can't really turn back now anyway. I mean, I'd have to fill in the whole sky again, but I kind of like it. But it definitely feels out of place. But that's how God works, blasts of color. Zoe, come! I have no idea where she is.
Zoe, come. Good girl. Good girl.
Just trying to give these clouds a little bit of shape. I want them to show like depth. Try and, I guess, build shadows off of them if I'm really being honest with myself. I want them to take on a form. It really is something beautiful when you get enough paint on your brush and you get it just the right consistency where it lays a really, really flat tone. And so much so it's covering over my previous paint perfectly. And I guess that's the benefit of acrylic, because its dry time is monumental. So you're not doing, what's that, plein air style? No, not plein air. Technically, this is plein air. Oh, I forget the proper official name for painting. Alla prima. That's what it is, alla prima. Sounds like a ballet dancer to me, but alla prima.
Boring.
Why?
I don't mean it rude, but it's...
You've read so many books.
Well, yeah, but this is a typical book. I feel like that happens in almost any romance book.
I don't know if I can handle him, but I can't handle him, but I can't handle him, and
No.
I don't want him in my life, but I want him in my life.
The whole... I had to go away for a couple weeks for mandatory training. I got beat up by a homeless guy. He stole my clothes, and the bus that I got on that he took instead burst in flames. So now you think I'm dead. Is that, you know what I'm saying? It's like
Really?
It's like amnesia romance.
Oh,
kind of thing.
gosh.
Like, so this Amish guy had to go elsewhere to get some training, left his wife, who he didn't know was pregnant, got beat up in a different town, got all of his money and clothes stolen,
Wow.
and the guy took his bus ticket and got on the same bus, and the bus got hit by a tanker and exploded. So now his wife is being told that he's been killed, but actually he's in a hospital, probably with amnesia, and doesn't know who he is.
Yep.
So I'm like, this is such a tip. Why? Think of a new story or theme.
So you've read so many of those. When are you going to write one?
No. Because I'll write the same thing I've read.
We need money. I need money for paint.
He needed money too, honey. That's why he left.
That's fine. Okay, fine. I'll leave. I'm glad she laughs when I say that.
Negative.
I'm glad she says that too.
What if I was secretly pregnant when you left? Exactly. And you see how you laugh when I say that? And my butt just clenched really tight.
Yeah, just slightly. We got another puppy coming already.
Oh.
Alright, it's starting to get too dark for me to really see what I'm doing. Unfortunately. Camera can make things a lot brighter than it is in real life here. So I'll brighten it up a little bit while I clean things up. Actually, no, we'll stop it here.